So yep, so we've got that almost ready to go, and we'll pop that into that, and then we'll seal and let it ferment. Alright, yep. Okay, emptied this guy, so now I'm just filling it up. Got a cheap funnel here from a Coke bottle, works really well, just fits into the top perfectly, and is wide enough down there for some of the fruit chunks to actually fit through. So yeah, just a bit of a demo. Just doing it a little bit at a time, just to make sure I don't miss anything off the bottom, that sort of thing. So pretty much just works like this. And that just goes straight to the bottom. Just get a bit more. So yeah, that's basically how it's working. So yeah, I'll just fill that guy to the top, and then what I'll be doing is I will be popping in the bung and airlock, which I've actually stored away in the freezer. I actually sterilised these the other day and just wrapped them straight up in Glad wrap and froze them, just to make sure the bugs aren't growing or anything like that. So I'll be chucking that on once this is filled up. Okay, so as you can see here, I've kind of started to get towards the top of the carboy now. So what I'll do is I will move that out of the way. What I'll do is I'll get this yeast in there, then that way I know it's in, and then I can top up the rest as needed. Probably don't want to get too high, because there's a bit of a worry if we started to have some furious fermentation and bubbling over. But anyway, I'll get this guy in there. Just got to undo that. It's really the top on it has it's really inflated quite a lot, so we know the yeast is working quite well. Alright, let's get you off there. It smells kind of fruity and yeasty, which kind of makes sense. Just make sure I give that a bit of a stir up so that the yeast isn't all sitting at the bottom. That won't be a problem though. I mean, I can just pop a little juice from the boiling pot in there and then fill that way, see what happens. Okay, let's get that in there. And in you go. Okay, definitely will have to pop the rest of back in there. But no, that's cool. Level's getting high now, so might hold back. Because I've actually still got a little bit left in there and just a sort of reserve here, I might actually do a sort of a separate brew, maybe a sort of a surprise alcohol content brew, just chuck it away somewhere and see how it goes. Just something along the side. Anyway, cool, so carrying on. Okay, on to one of the last steps for now, and that is to get the airlock fitted. So I've got a rubber bung on the bottom and the airlock. I actually sort of set up the rubber bung myself. I bought it from a plastic and rubber store for a couple bucks, and actually froze it and had to drill a hole in it. They were out of bungs of holes, so do it yourself sort of thing. So pretty much I've picked this one to just fit on there. Put that in place, give it a nice firm push down so that the only thing coming out of there is gas through the airlock. And the next step is just to add a bit of water in there, which I will now attempt without having already set that up. Let's get some water going here. This will be interesting. Okay. These can always be fun because sometimes the water doesn't actually get right all the way through there. So you can see I just popped that in there. Might have been just slightly too much, or maybe not. Yeah, there we go. So we can kind of see, got one line there and one line there. That one's down there and that one's slightly up there. So that might actually do. That's probably quite alright actually. So that's all ready to go. And pretty soon we will see bubbles pushing through and up. Alright, time to clean this guy up and put him away somewhere dark and at a nice room temperature for a little while. Let's just have a quick look back at the recipe and we'll just see how long we need to leave it for. Right, so into the fermentation vessel, yeast is in there, fit the airlock, and it says leave for a couple of weeks. So for I guess for a beer, which would be about 5%, I guess we sort of leave that about a week to 10 days. I guess, yeah, depending on how fast or slow the fermentation goes. With a wine, because I haven't really done one before, I just have to sort of go over the recipe and, you know, maybe leave it at least a couple of weeks. I'm assuming that because the alcohol content is, you know, doubled at least, then, you know, I'd say maybe 2 weeks, maybe 14 to 20 days. Yeah, that might be enough to leave it for, and then we'll come back and I guess as we go we'll just assess how much it's actually bubbling, and we'll be able to tell from that whether it's still fermenting or not. One general sort of loose rule is that if the bubbling has dropped below a bubble every 90 seconds, so say if it bubbles once every sort of 160 seconds or something like that, then you can be pretty confident that it's the fermentation has really slowed down enough that it's probably going to be safe to bottle. But I guess with this one, instead of bottling it straight after, because there's so much sediment in there, I guess the next step is to actually, after the fermentation, we have to rack it off into another jug, get this carboy cleaned up and sterilised, and then we've got to add the must or wort, which is the liquid. I've got to add that back in, and then add a crushed Campton tablet. Now that tablet was, got a few packed away here, sneaky, potassium metabisulfite, so that will aid in sterilising and stabilising the wine for its sort of home stretch. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I guess, yeah, now we just play the waiting game, and I also have to clean up a bit of a crappy mess, so over and out for now.